Welcome everybody. Tim Bart's here, McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas for our weekly. This is episode number 10 now. We've been doing this, these live streams. So I'm getting more comfortable at it. So hopefully my sound good. Looks good. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear my sound okay. But it looks like according to my stream here, like it should be good. So welcome again to another episode of McArthur's live news updates and Q&A. Here, so just waiting for a couple thumbs up. There's a 10-second delay here, I think. So again, thanks for coming on and watching. I know a lot of you have been chatting amongst each other before the stream. I wanted to actually go through and read a few comments, and we will be going through some of the comments. And I do want to appreciate everybody that's jumped on already. And jumping on every week with me. I'm just blown away by all the people that have joined in and is watching this every week. So again, okay, thanks for those thumbs up. All right, so it looks like our audio is good, and I am back to the dealership, and I do have the microphone set for once it hears my voice, and that's why sometimes there's just a second of where it might sound like it cuts out, and it's just because if I stop talking, it's trying not to catch any background noise around me. So here we go. So again, first things, I got a couple things, and if you look down the description in this video, you can see some of the things that I have as topics. I added a couple things here just recently because I got an email from the brand manager and some other things that's happening that I added to the bottom of this list. We'll add to that as well. But again, if you're not subscribed yet, then don't forget, hit that red subscribe button down below. Then get subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification bell. That will just get you notified next time I have another video uploaded to the channel, which a lot of you guys probably already did get that the notification if you're already following the channel. And don't forget also smash that like button if you hear a comment or something, you learn something from this video. Smash that thumbs up so that other people know you can get some good content out of this. So that's my hope and desire out of these live streams, as well as I think I'm going to actually convert these over to a podcast starting this week. So looked into that. So those that are watching and listening on our podcast, one of those podcast platforms. So we're gonna try this out and see how it works in an audio format. So hopefully I won't give you talk about too many things that are visually you're not able to see. So hopefully most of it is just me talking. So and maybe also if you're not able to catch a live stream, you can catch one of the podcasts. So it'll be under we're gonna name that Ford Video Guy. So that way you'll be able to find that podcast if you want to. Also, if you're interested, if you've been a subscriber for a while and you want to, we do have membership available. It's that little join button right beside the subscribe button underneath this video. You can click that. It gives you more information about some of the perks that we have here. I did do a video for our members when I was in Vegas, so you can see some fun stuff like that. It's behind the scenes types of videos. And occasionally we're also giving away different merchandise too as well for free, part of that membership. So you can check that out. So again, thanks for jumping in with me here. Let's just get started. First, I like to always go through some of the scheduling information. And the first thing I want to talk about is things that are not scheduling this week for production. So what is not scheduling this week, 2021 or 22, Bronco is not scheduling this week, as well as the EcoSport. The Expedition is not scheduling. Mustang, Ranger, and Transit. Transit was actually going to schedule on Monday, but then today we got an email that is not going to be scheduling this week. So those different models are not scheduling. Again, that's Bronco, EcoSport, Expedition, Mustang, Ranger, and Transit are not getting scheduled for production dates for this week. But what is getting scheduled this week is 21 F-150, so we're still getting some more 21s that are getting production dates, as well as 22 Maverick, those that have allocations, and we actually have two. I thought all 20 of ours were going to get used last week, and we actually have two open allocations. So if you do have an order in with McArthur, there are two that will get scheduled this week. We have two left. So for dealers that have allocations left, they'll get you'll see some getting pulled. So you might get those emails. Be looking for those on Thursdays. So those are going to be pulled. 22 Super Duty, also going to get scheduled this week. 22 Transit Connect van and wagon. 22 Bronco Sport, which we have several Bronco Sport orders in recently. 22 Edge, 22 Escape, and 22 Mach-E. Those all will be scheduling this week. So if you have one on order and haven't been scheduled and you're looking to see if you can get scheduled, those are when you're going to be able to expect to see those. So also for dealers out there watching the live stream, you can expect those are going to be pulled as well. So some other scheduling notes that I wanted to highlight. One is on the 21 Expedition. They have extended now for 21 Expedition orders. You have until October 28th to get those in. So they have moved that date back. It was originally the 21st, but now they moved it back to the 28th. Also, 22 Mach-E orders. I mentioned this last week, kind of mentioning it again. For those of you that have, you know, you had a 21 Mach-E order and it didn't get it got balanced out before yours got built, then what they did is transition over to a 22 order, and then it got a priority of 99. So dealers will need to go in there. You'll need to get with your dealers and make sure they change that priority over to 10 to 19 and just confirm that order looks good for the 22 model year. Sometimes some things change, so you just need to confirm some things. Also, same way on the 22 Bronco. If you had a 21 Bronco order in, that got converted over, and basically what they do is they duplicate the order as a 22. So you'd see in the webdo that there's a 21 order and a 22 for that customer. So go into that 22 order and update any of that. And a couple things on the Bronco I did mention last week, I want to mention again because I think it's important, at least to me. Maybe it's just because of some things that I like on my Bronco. But remember, if you have a Badlands or a Black Diamond, and last year in 21 the standard bumper was that front modular heavy duty front bumper, that is now optional on those trims this year. So you'll need to make sure you add those. There's no cost option for those that had a 21 order. So you'll get credit for that. So we'll show that it's more expensive, but you're going to be getting a credit on that when it gets built and when it, before you go to make that payment, as well as on the Wildtrak orders. So last year in 21, Wildtrak came standard with a hard top. If you're really wanting that hard top, you need to add it as a standalone option, but it will not cost you anything to go to add that onto your Wildtrak order. So I want to make sure you're aware of that. And also 22 scheduling will begin real soon for December startup. So you want to make sure you get those converted over. We're trying to get all of ours done by this week, because next week is when they're going to start scheduling for 22 Bronco, and you want to make sure those orders are in. So we're getting all of ours in by the end of this week, so that Monday we're not trying to frantically get those orders in. So if you have a Bronco ordering with another dealership, make sure you can hold of them, make sure that they, you know, because what Ford's doing is they're all getting converted over to 22, but they're all getting hit with a priority code of 99, means they will not even be looked at. So you want to make sure that those get pulled down to the right order code, to 10 to 19 or whatever it might be for that dealer. So also 22 F-150 Lightning. This actually wasn't in the scheduling notes for dealers, but I know that I'm very aware of it, because on the build, or on the where we can search for other inventory locator in our system, it does mention that we need to make sure prices are changed by October 26th, which, just like with the Bronco on the 13th of October, build and price went live on that day. Also, order guides went live for dealers that day as well. So I really feel like, since it has the same exact message for the F-150 Lightning being October 26th, that day build and price should be open, order guides should be available as well on Ford.com. So you should be able to go in there. So if you have an F-150, a 2022 F-150 Lightning like myself, and you want to go in there and build it out, you can do that. One of the things you'll notice, just like I did with Maverick, is that Ford will not tell you all of the standard equipment on each of the different trims, the Pro, XLT, Lariat, and Platinum. That's why I'll be doing a video. I'll be doing a video on each one of those. So next week I'll be really busy trying to get these videos out as quickly as possible for people that are wanting to know more information, so that way they know exactly what's standard on each of those trims. When they go to build and price to add those different packages, they know what else they're getting on top of the standard equipment. So I'll be doing those videos next week, so I'll be real busy trying to get those out as quick as possible. So if you give me a call next week and I'm not able to return your call, it's because I'm really in the middle of production. I'm really trying to get as many of these videos out as possible. So also some upcoming videos for this week I thought I'd kind of highlight, and maybe this will help kick me in the rear and get some of these videos produced. I have about 3 that are actually recorded, and I need to edit them and get them out. So hopefully this will help me out. But one of the things is I have recorded already is an SCA Apex edition. That's a kind of Black Widow. SCA puts together Black Widow packages. They also make an Apex package. So I did a video on that for the F-150, as well as we got some of our first Roush F-150s in a couple weeks ago, and so I have a Roush F-150 video as well. I go over the core components as well as the different optional components are available on those and what we like to order them with. So I have those videos recorded, and so I'm going to try to edit those and have those go live this week. And again, like I mentioned, F-150 Lightning standard equipment videos I'll have go live next week. And then as soon as I can, I'll try to do what's new for 22 Expedition as well as 22 Mustang. I do have those here. Not a lot different for the 22 Mustang from 21, it looks like. Some different colors. Doesn't look like too much major, but looks like Expedition. There's 2 pages worth of stuff. Well, a little over a page. So and I'm actually interested. My lease is almost up on my Expedition, so I'm wanting to look and see if they made any changes to 22 XLT Expedition as well. So anyway, I might be doing those videos as well. So gonna be busy on the production for that. So I need to get started and stay focused the next couple of weeks. So a couple things on Maverick. So a lot of you have come over because of the Maverick videos, and so let's do some updates on the Maverick. So last week there was a glitch where you could not add the 4K tow package to your Maverick orders. If you wanted to change it, add it. We had a couple customers that wanted to add the 4K tow package, and it gave us this error message that told us that it had balanced out for the year, so you couldn't get the 4K tow package anymore. So we reached out to the brand manager, and they actually had to reach out to someone at the factory to make sure that that was correct, and there's no commodity constraint, there's no balance out on the 4K tow package. And we noticed today it was working just fine. So it must have just been a glitch last week. I've heard other dealers say that sometimes on Thursdays they struggle with making changes to orders. We might just need to be able to try to stay away from Thursdays when making any changes. But it is okay, so you can get the 4K tow package as long as you have the 2.0 with the all-wheel drive. Keep that in mind. So we had some people that were flipping their order over for front-wheel drive to all-wheel drive, and then they couldn't add the 4K. Once you save it as all-wheel drive, then we go back in there. Now we can add that 4K tow package. So make sure that's fine there. Also, we do have an F-150. We do have a Maverick that is available for sale. So we had a customer that did order Velocity Blue Maverick. I think it's on our website. I think it's an XLT trim, a luxury package, I believe, because it does have the black wheels. And I'm not sure what else is on that Maverick, but it is on our website. We do have a price at $2,500 over MSRP. So the customer did not want the vehicle. We called them. A vehicle was in, and they were like, they did not want it, which is kind of crazy. But so it is available for sale. So if somebody's looking, doesn't want to wait, then they're we're more than willing. It's going to be again $2,500 over MSRP. Now we might make if you want to give us a call, we can maybe work something out. But $2,500 is what we're looking at on those. We did we've had several different locator companies, wholesale companies that what they do is they go to from dealer to dealer, want to buy their inventory so they can resell it at the auction, and they're actually willing to pay $6,500 over MSRP to dealers to resell the vehicles because they know they're bringing about $8,000 to $10,000 over MSRP. So we know that we're well below wholesale because that's what the auction companies are they're reaching out to dealers saying, hey, we'll buy your inventory at $5-6 grand over, and then we'll just resell it for more than that. So we know that's going on. So right now, also this week we are going to lift our very first Maverick. So we are in the process of doing that. Looks like probably tomorrow. I did the opening clip for that, the intro clip for that video tonight, right before this went live. And so like tomorrow, the next day, we're gonna work on putting a lift. So we're figuring out what suspension it needs, what shocks it needs, what different wheels with different offsets. We're gonna figure all that out for those that want to put a lift on their Maverick. So that you don't have to try to figure it out, process it yourself, and order a bunch of different suspension systems. We're going to test things out and tell you exactly what works best and which one works the perfect setup and everything. So again, that's another video that we'll be probably putting out sometime this week or early next week as well. So if you're looking to lift your Maverick, there you go. So that's all of the news that I have for this week. So let's go into the questions here, and some of you have already got some questions on there. So let me you guys are seeing the stream over here on the right side, which hopefully you're gonna like that now. I am gonna kind of scroll up a little bit and see. And again, if you have a question for me, tag tag Long McArthur there. It should pop up. If you're on desktop, I think you do the @ and long. It's gonna pop up above you. Otherwise, I think if you're on a mobile phone, you have to do the @ long space McArthur, and it'll tag us there. So I do have a question up here, Adrian. By the way, Tim, thanks for monitoring my XLT hybrid order down to not wanting to front, but no problem. Yeah, if you want any changes like that, We typically, as a default, we're in a state that doesn't require front tag. But if you are from anytime we do an out-of-state order, we just automatically add the front tag bracket because some states require front tag, and so we just put it on there so we make sure at least we have that tag bracket for you put on. So if you're in a state that doesn't require it, if you have an ordering with us, just make sure you let your salesperson know, or just shoot me an email or message me, and we can make sure that that doesn't get put. So let's see here. Going through here, any kind of news on the 22 Mustang. We can't order 22 Mustang now. Order banks are open for those, and like I mentioned just a little bit ago, there has been a few changes on 22 Mustang, not too many. There is a package, Coastal Limited package, so I'll have to check. That's a late availability. They're having a stealth package, just like with some of the other vehicles where they come out with that with some performance upgrades. And they do have an ice white appearance package. That'd be interesting to see. Enhanced security package, they just changed the name of it. Mach 1 handling package will be a late availability. So they did have Mach 1 last year. It looks like they're adding a handling package for this year. It just says that's changed, actually. It's not new. And then they did delete the Carbon Sport interior package, and they deleted the Pony package, it looks like. So probably some things on that stealth package mirrored what they're doing on the Pony package, so that's probably what they're doing there. So just a few things there. There's some new colors. I can go over those for you guys if you're interested. So new colors for the 22 Mustang: Atlas Blue, Brittany Blue, Metallic, Cyber Orange, Dark Matter Gray, Eruption Green, like in the other. Now, Eruption Green is a late availability as well as the Brittany Blue. Also, Mischievous Purple is a late availability, and I'm not a big fan of purple. I'm a big KU fan, so I'm not a big purple fan. Grabber Blue also is new for this year, which I believe they had Grabber Blue in the past. So new stripe offerings: black with red side stripe on the California Special package, as well as a white side stripe on the Coastal Limited package. And then deleted colors: Antimatter Blue is no longer available, Grabber Yellow, Twister Orange, or Velocity Blue. And they deleted the Pony package side stripe and the California Special package side stripe, Ebony and Silver. Been deleted for this year, looks like. So anyway, really that's about it on the Mustang. So okay. And then there's a question about the Lightning here. F-150 Lightning Pro, can it back charge to the house for standard battery? It does if you get the optional 80 amp Pro charger. So the way it works is the Pro charger is what you need to back up power to your house. So I've actually researched this because I don't feel like I need the extended battery for me personally, because I'm just going to be driving it around town. So I was curious on that. So I did find out that you can, as long as you have the 80 amp Pro charger, which the 80 amp Pro charger comes standard with extended battery, so you'll get it included. But if you get with the extended battery, but if you get the standard battery, you have to add it as optional equipment. So make sure you add the 80 amp Pro charger, not the 48. 48 won't allow that. The 80 amp is what's needed for that. Then you'll be able to back up to the house. So that's my plan as well. I plan to go with the standard battery and then see how much that 80 amp Pro charger cost. I'll make a trimmer package for the Lightning. We'll probably try to have some fun with the Lightning. We do that usually when they come in. I keep in mind most of the Lightnings are sold to other people, and just like with the Maverick that we're putting a lift on is actually the general manager's truck. He may not want me to tell people that, but he always orders a vehicle, and then he likes to, he'll do things to it like that, so we can try things out on a vehicle, especially one where it's limited to just certain customers. So he ordered an EcoBoost all-wheel drive all along. That's what he wanted. So now we're able to try and put a lift and wheels and tires on his Maverick, and so we'd have to do the same thing on the Lightning. So if we wanted that, and I might be actually willing to let him try it out on my truck, because I have a very early build. I think I reserved the very first night within the first hour. So hopefully I should get an early one, and so I'll probably equip it as an XLT and such, and we'll probably try something out on one of our employees' trucks, something like that. My dealer had no idea what the priority code was. Most dealerships, they don't even realize that there's a column for that. So they have to flip it from 19 is what's the default there. How long should we expect delivery to take? About 4 weeks. So I know I got my Bronco recently, and it was built on the 6th, and they told me expect somewhere between the 27th and the 2nd. So right around 3 to 4 weeks, I think is about a good gauge on when it should come in from your build date, unless you have a hybrid. Right now, hybrids are being held up until the EPA testing is done. Which I just answered James's question there about the hybrid orders. There's an order July 1, no build date yet. Oh, so you don't have a build date. Yeah, we noticed here out of our 20 allocations that we had this month, 18 got scheduled. All 18 were EcoBoost. We had 0 hybrids. So I think some of the hybrids, I don't know if they're just picking certain regions, and our region didn't get any hybrid allocations. I'm not sure, but and we're a little concerned about that as well. So, but hopefully, there evidently there's some other regions that are getting hybrid builds, because I've been seeing emails where customers are getting that. So, have you heard anything about Rapid Red First Edition EcoBoost? Yeah, Dalton, that color's been available since November production. So I know that there were people that very first month that are getting, and for November, that are getting their Rapid Red First Editions produced. So there are some production dates for that color already. So that should be good. That's not any holdup. And I'm sure, Dalton, you probably don't watch all my live streams. I tend to go on and on and on. So I get that. But I have mentioned that about a month ago, that the Rapid Red was no longer a late availability item. In fact, it was taken off of the last order guide update. I think it was September 24th is when that changed. Okay, and then has the EPA given them miles per gallon on hybrid Maverick? Not yet. So we're just we're kind of waiting for that word on that. Of course, again, Todd, that's the same question there. So hopefully we get that soon. I'm really hoping that there is some rumors going out that December 8th is the date. I've actually contacted my sources and nobody's given me a date. They're saying we don't actually know a date. Not sure where that came from. So we don't really know. I think that was actually leaked by somebody at the factory, that's what they were told. But really, I'm not sure. But they have not released that information to me. So. These are hybrids and EcoBoost today. My original order date was 7/26. Do I keep that original date, or does it revert? No. Any changes that you make to your order, whether it be a full engine change like that, does not change your order, where your order was placed, and it doesn't change your order number or anything like that. Just making that change. We've had a lot of people that changed and took something off and then got scheduled because theirs was early enough that it then became next in. Okay, so then Mike asked, do you know how many hybrid to eco conversions worldwide, forward-wide, best estimate? I don't know. I know within our dealership we had we're close to 400 orders now, and we've had a lot of EcoBoost already get scheduled. About only 13 hybrids get scheduled so far, and we still have over 200 hybrid orders that haven't been scheduled. So here at our dealership, we noticed it was about 60-70% of our orders were hybrid, and I think that's a pretty good number. Having a good chunk of orders like that, when we have 300, 400 orders, I think that's a good mix. So you can not necessarily, because we have orders from all over the country, not just in Kansas. So because of that, I think it gives us a good scope, though, of within our dealership on a smaller scale what that percentage might be. Okay, I think I passed some. Okay, so somebody said spill the beans on the current hybrid status. I want EPA 2 constraints 3. Where else? I've been told it's still waiting on the EPA testing. I have not been told anything differently than that. And I've told you guys everything I know. Very rarely they'll let me know anything that I can't voice to you guys. If they know any information, they're not going to tell me, because they know I'm going to tell you guys, because that's just the way I am. So anyway, so appreciate the members being in here on the live stream. We got Bob in here, and we got Ridgeview in here, so appreciate you guys showing up. Oh, and Steven's in here. He's always here every week. Okay, so Paul says, is the 230 to 300 mile range estimate for the Lightning back based on payload of 1,000 pounds? Yes, that is what I've heard. There's disclaimers on there that Ford has that says that's what it's based off of. So I'm feeling pretty good about the mileage range, and I've heard some other people that have actually taken it real world with it empty and been getting over 400 miles on extended battery. So I think it's going to, you know, Ford always underestimates their numbers when it comes to towing as well. They'll always, if they'll always go to the lighter number because they want to cover themselves for any legal problems. So if somebody says, hey, I pulled a 9,000-pound trailer and you said, you know, 8,500, then you're kind of on your own there. So Ford will always underestimate that just a little bit, and I think they're doing the same thing with the ranges on those. And of course, it also matters how you drive the vehicle. So if you drive an electric vehicle very conservative, you know, you're going to get a lot better fuel economy than somebody like me that drives it, because it's telling me it's got 700 pound-feet of torque. And you think I'm not going to lay into that a little bit once in a while? So, you know, I'm probably not going to get the probably, you know, hopefully I get the 300 or whatever it says there. So, hybrid ready to buy. Are we getting any info soon? Don't know. A lot of questions about that. Sorry, folks. I wish I had better answer. What are the changes to the 22 Ranger from 21 model year, if any? Yeah, there was. I don't have that in front of me, but there was a new FX4, the Splash appearance package that is back for this. That was something very years ago. They brought it back, so you have a different appearance package. You do have one of the packages that was not available with like the FX2 package that's available now. Like you couldn't get an FX2 and appearance package together or something like that. And I think now this year you can. So not a lot of major changes, but a couple new packages. And so actually I'll be doing a video. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. I do plan on doing a what's new for the Ranger. So let me write that down. So what's new on the Ranger. So I'll be doing one of those videos. Those tend to work really well, especially people that have watched my videos on the current model year. Then and I'll have a chance, or I like to wait until I get some vehicles and some inventory in, like an XL or an XLT, before I do a full video of that. But I like to do what's new, so you guys kind of know that. So I'll try to do one on the Ranger. I'll be doing it on Expedition and the Mustang. Some people don't. Some people actually will comment on those videos and give me a bad time because sometimes there's not a lot of changes, and so sometimes they'll give me a bad time because how I title them. But all right, so let's see. Order hybrid on 723, waiting 4K tow package change 2.0 all-wheel drive last month. Does that get free upgrade? If you had front-wheel drive, if you ordered front-wheel drive originally with the 4K tow package on the 2.0. and then you change that over to all-wheel drive because you have to, or take off the 4K. But if you switch that over to all-wheel drive, then yes, you will get the rebate, the free upgrade. But you will need to maybe have your dealer check. But you won't really know until it gets scheduled. So your dealership should be able to get a list of the people that originally ordered that before a certain date. That way, and like right now you can't order it, so that way. So if you ordered it back in July as a front wheel drive with a 4K, then you should get the free all-wheel drive upgrade. It'll be a 2220 incentive. Basically, it'll show up on your incentives when you go to pull incentives when you buy your vehicle. It should give you that discount then. It won't make the price lower on your sheet. Your build sheet will still show that extra cost. But when you go to get the vehicle and you get rebates, you should get an extra 2220 private offer is what it's called, but it's kind of like a rebate. So, Maverick order in June, EcoBoost. Didn't finalize the order until a couple weeks ago after I kept telling him about your videos. My order date gets set back. Your order would be submitted and put in line based on the date that you ordered it. So, but if you ordered it at that dealer and they did it the same way on everybody's, then you're actually probably not any different than anybody else. They probably realized they messed up on when they did yours, and everybody else is going to be put in at that time. So typically, on the Maverick anyway, the order is where it is in line is based on when that order was submitted by the dealer. So sorry to tell you that. But dealers' allocations is what's the most important. So like we have 200 and some orders already that need to be fulfilled from our dealership. So it really depends on what our region gets and what our dealership gets based on that getting scheduled and when it gets scheduled. So there may be somebody that ordered after you, but if your dealership only has one allocation and only has one order, then yours would maybe get scheduled before them because that person may be in a dealership that has 500 orders and they only get a few allocations. So again, sometimes you get lucky if you're at a dealership that has very few allocations. So I'm not answering these as quickly as they're going by, so I just lost my place. Okay. So hey Ford, if you're watching, give McArthur some allocations. Yes, please give us allocations. I agree. Yes. So Ford, you're watching. We still have over 200 hybrid orders that need to be scheduled. Help us out here. So we're putting out videos. Nobody else is. Give us allocations, right? Anyway, can a dealership markup on plan pricing? My dealer told me that they are. Yeah, they cannot. If they either can say yes, we will do plan pricing, or no, we will not. They do not have to honor plan pricing. You have X plan, A plan, D plan. They do not have to. But if they do plan pricing, they cannot mark up. They have to go from the price on the invoice. They cannot. They're not allowed to. Like for us, we do free shipping on our vehicles if they finance with us at MSRP. If they're a D plan, we can't even include free shipping with the D plan. So if somebody's D plan, I have to give them that price and then figure out what shipping cost is going to be and add it to the price. So you have to have the complete breakdown of everything added. Any accessories, aftermarket has to be put on there, exactly what it costs. So, yeah, the dealer either goes along with the plan pricing or does not. Pro model, I plan on buying a single cab. This is Joe, by the way. He's talking about the Lightning, F-150 Lightning. So the Pro model, which is the base model, I plan on buying a single truck for my business at the moment. Will I be able to equip the long-range battery, or do you need to have a larger fleet? You have to be able to get fleet discount. So I'm not sure what goes into asking for that. I know that if you go to, I think it's fleet.ford.com, you can request and try to put in to get a fleet discount. But I believe you have to have more than just the one. To get that type of discount. Welcome, Jack. He's a member of the channel here. Him, generally speaking, how long would it take to receive a Lightning after ordering? Well, it really depends on when they start scheduling. So again, it goes into that scheduling process, just like it is with the Maverick. And so when you put that order, like we're putting, I'm not sure what the deadline is for the first orders, but once you put that order in, they're going to start scheduling them a certain date for startup, and then start building them, and then it's going to be the same process as Maverick. So until we get a build date, really, I can't really give a timeline, because I think we're going to learn a lot more information next week into, like, once the order guides are open, when our deadline is for those that have reservations currently. They want to flip those into order to start looking into production. Those that have reservations and they do it after that date, they're just gonna that date's gonna get kind of push them back a little bit. So you want to make sure if you have a reservation in, that you figure out, and we'll know next week when the deadline is, but usually it's a couple months. So they won't open it up on the 26th and then start ordering then, and whoever gets the orders in the 26th is going to be first in line. It's not going to work that way. Just like with them, it's going to work the same way it did with Bronco. So as soon as you will have they'll open up the order guides and the building, or the order the order banks, that's the word I'm looking for, and then they'll give us a timeline. I know on the Bronco, I think we had 2 months. I think they opened it up in like December. They had the building price available in December, and then I think it was January is when we could start ordering, and then I think we had about a month window there, about 4 weeks to get people's orders in, and then that's when that date went. So that's probably what's going to happen with the Lightning as well. So don't feel like you have to get your orders, and contact your dealership if you have a reservation on the Lightning on the 26th and get it in by that date, so you get first in line. It's not going to work that way. There's going to be some time frame, and then at that point they're going to go by that reservation date. On Lightning, just like with the Bronco, that reservation number means a lot more than it does on the Maverick. So keep that in mind. Okay. By the way, some of these questions I'm just kind of going through, and if I see an for my name or Law McArthur, I'm stopping on those, by the way. So if you want to make sure give me a direct question, make sure you're tagging, putting that at Law McArthur at the beginning. Looks like you just do the at and Law McArthur, no space, for that to pop up for me as orange on the screen here. So with your dealership and a few others having so many orders, what is a realistic time frame for actually fulfilling all these orders? I really don't know. Really depends on allocation numbers. When we saw 45 a couple months ago, We really thought that was just the beginning. We were going to get like 90 the next month, so we could fulfill a lot more of these orders a lot quicker. But then they gave us 20 this month, so I really don't. At this point, I'm not sure how to figure the factories and how to figure out what Ford's giving for allocations, because I really think that we have probably more orders than anybody else in the country. And over 300. I know that I've seen, Granger Ford has like, I think they've said over 100 or something. And there's one dealership that says that they do a lot of orders and they're like at 100. We have 3 to 4 times most dealerships. I'm not sure why we're not getting more allocations, because I really disappointing with that. So hopefully, so I really don't have an answer for you there, Jennifer. So hopefully they go quickly. Okay, Daniel, will there be leasing for the 22 Bronco? It's not available on the build and price. I think there is. I can't remember if there was for 21, but I'm not really sure. I think I'd have to look up and see if right now if there is for 21 or not. So that's not something I could probably answer tonight. So I'll try to get that. I can get that answer if you're going to be back next week, but I'll try to get that answer about leasing on the Bronco. Some of these things I just have to look up and try them and go into Ford system and try them and see if they work. How does the vehicle registration taxes work when you ship a car to another state? Yeah, taxes are, you take care of that with your own state. So we can't collect out-of-state taxes. So if you order from somebody out of state, you got to figure on that you're gonna need to go and pay those taxes. I know for some people that maybe they don't have that money put aside for the taxes, and most deals even here in the States, that's kind of rolled into your payment here. We can figure that out. We can figure out what your taxes are going to be, and then we can just put that into the cost of the vehicle, add that to the cost of the vehicle, and then cut you a check back for that amount. So you'd have a check to take over to the taxes, to pay your taxes. So that's the way we've done that for customers that way. Bronco shipped a week ago. My Bronco shipped a week ago, Saturday. Guys received it, and should I work on it out? No, we haven't received your order. Are you talking about your Maverick, Steven? Because you said my Bronco. I think your Bronco is still, they haven't scheduled any yet. So I think maybe you're talking about your Maverick. That usually wait until we get closer to it being here. Just because if you start pulling credit, they only last 30 days for any approvals. So then we'd have to redo it again. So we usually just wait until the vehicle gets here and take care of that, because we can do that pretty quickly in a day. It doesn't take that long to get approvals and figure out payments and everything. So we'll usually do that once it gets here, because we can be doing that while it's getting set up, cleaned up, and ready for you and everything. All right, Daniel said, will there be, answer that. So. In a dealership markup, a plan. Already answered that. I think some of these are put in here a couple times. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna flip down. I think it refreshed and went to the bottom. Oh, cool. So you got, all right. Did we get a percentage list from Mavericks this week? All of ours, 100% of ours were EcoBoost. So I think when we had that week where we had like 45, I actually broke down at 13 were hybrids and such. This last week it was 18 out of 18 were all EcoBoost. So, all right. Tell us when the Maverick canopies will be available. Not sure when they mentioned canopies. Are you thinking the tops, the bed covers, or are you talking about the tents and things like that? I think some of that stuff's already available because it's put on other vehicles, but I'm not sure. No, Steven, I actually looked at yours. It is in there as a 4-door. So actually, I looked at that yesterday with the person that does the ordering, and I had her look up your order number. And yours is in there as a 4-door, so you don't need to be concerned there. I did check that. In fact, what I can do is tomorrow I'll reprint that for you and send it over to you, email it over to you, okay, Steven? That way you have that order there. So, but yeah, yours is a 4-door. When will 22 Explorer be scheduling? They are scheduling this week, I think, right? Didn't I mention that? Oh, wait. Actually, Explorer was not mentioned at all, whether it wasn't scheduling or was. So they left it off completely. So I thought Explorer scheduled last week, but I think Explorers are scheduling now. So should be good there. Must have just left it off. Okay, is October 22nd a hard order date for the Lightning, or is it possible that it can get pushed out? Well, no. The date we've been given, and it's still on the website right now, on Ford's website under their locator, is that we need to have pricing done by the 26th, because that's when it's going to go live. So that is still on there as that alert. We haven't received anything yet, but usually the day before we'll get an alert or something, which will be, of course, the 25th, which I believe, if I'm looking at it right, yeah, so that's next Tuesday. So Monday we probably should be getting something with our scheduling information. So we should be able to get that. We should be getting that information then. So we should probably get more information here next week. And hopefully it doesn't get pushed back. Usually when it comes to that, they've planned that out in advance, so it's probably ready to go and everything. Any updates on Maverick constraints? Has it been changed since? Nope. Usually on the scheduling notes, I would mention that anything that's relevant there, and they haven't changed any of that from what I talked about at the beginning of the month. So they give us a constraint list at the beginning of the month and what they call the wholesale meetings, and that's usually their constraints for the entire month. So they usually don't change that. If there's any change from that, then they will usually let us know in the scheduling notes that we get on Monday and Tuesday. Okay, I-2 Boost was scheduled for 12/6. Do you think could get it by Christmas? Probably not by Christmas, but probably by the end of the year. So maybe that week after Christmas, possibly. So, both the Rivian RDN Lightning reserves. Tell me why you think the Lightning will be better product for me to purchase. One of the things that I look at of the F-150 is that they took the Lightning and they didn't reinvent or rebuild a vehicle for the Lightning. They took the F-150, which is already built tough, on the same frame, the same steel frame, the same body. They took everything that's already being produced on so many trucks right now in the current F-150 body style, and they didn't reinvent that. They just took that and converted it to an electric, which I think is a big bonus. If you look at the F-150 sales and the F-150 truck, it is already a great truck. So they didn't have to redo anything there. What they did then is they took the motor out. They put batteries in the frame, and I love when they located them so it's protected in there. And then they put a new suspension on it. So they just added some suspensions, added the dual motors in there. So it's a lot easier. They took what already was there, the shell, the body, the meat of the F-150 is there. That's been tried and trued and is tough and is durable. And then they made it electric, which I think that puts them a step ahead. And that's just my opinion. And I'm at a Ford dealer. But I'm still, and I have seen that truck. It looks nice, the Rivian, and it looks like they're, according to some of the numbers, like it's going to be more powerful than the F-150. But I don't know. Ford seems to just do a really good job, and I'm not saying that just because I work at a Ford dealer, but I mean, look at the products they're putting out right now. You have the Maverick truck and how well that is, and how it's meeting everybody's expectations. Everybody's driving them. I mean, I haven't seen a negative review yet on the Maverick test drives, and usually somebody will have a negative of it. And you look at the Bronco that's come out, and I've got to take that off road, and the off road as well as on road capabilities, it just totally beats the Jeep Wrangler hands down. I mean, and its capabilities. I mean, I'm sure off road capabilities haven't been completely tested by so many people yet, but I think it's going to hold up to the Jeep Wrangler. But definitely on road, so much better ride than a Jeep Wrangler. I've actually driven in Wranglers before, where I took them home. I'm going to take this home tonight and drive it down and get about a mile and turn around and come back. And I'm like, I cannot stand how this drives. Then Bronco does not drive like that. So I think as long as the off-road capabilities keeps up, but they're just putting so many great products between the Bronco Sport, the Bronco, the F-150, and the Lightning. There's so many great products right now, and so I will now jump off my soapbox. But I think that Ford's just doing such a good job right now. So Dwayne asked, "Hey Tim, I hear that 2022 Ford F-150 XLT 302A Lariat and Platinum is coming out with the blackout package, and when can you order them, and when will they be scheduled?" Okay, yes, 22 F-150 does have a black appearance package available now, XLT, and the I think even the 301A equipment group, as well as the Lariat, and even Platinum for this year, which we didn't have in 2020, which is what I have in my truck. So that package is going to be available for the 22 model year. Order guides are open up for the 22, and they'll be scheduling, I believe, the first week of November. I think that's when the startup's going to be for December builds, so December startup. So it'll be coming up. So is there a Maverick discount using Ford Family Pen? Yes, there is. And that's called usually D plan or Z plan, depends on what type of Ford employee you are. If it's a plant employee, I believe it's A plan, D plan for dealer, Z plan for retired Ford family members. So you just have to get that D plan from them, and of course the dealership has to do the plan and honor that. So some do, some don't. So okay, live in the biggest city in New Mexico, and you know more than 3 dealerships combined. Kudos. Well, thank you. Thanks, Steve. All right. Oh, pop down on me again. How many Maverick hybrid customers switched over to EcoBoost at your dealership? We did have quite a few, not a lot, but we did have a few that did switch over to the EcoBoost. So I think once those numbers came out that they were getting close to 30 miles to the gallon and some a little bit more, that they felt like that was good enough for them, and so that's why they switched, because they wanted it for good fuel economy, and getting 30 miles to the gallon. That they saw that it was getting close to 30 miles to the gallon, so I think they were happy with that. So they decided to, they were okay with it. Explain what having pricing. We actually, as a dealership, we have to say what we're going to sell our vehicles at, like what pricing we're going to honor. So if we are going to do MSRP, if we're going to be $2,000 over MSRP or whatever, we have to have our pricing in line and set in place prior to the order banks going up. Because if they go to, they can go to Ford's website and they can actually search for dealerships. They're supposed to be able to see what dealerships are doing for what. It's basically for their stock units more than it is their ordered units, but they have to have that pricing in place. So Ford tells us within our pricing tool, our back-end tool, we need to have our pricing in line for all of our new models. The Lightning, since it was a new model completely, we have to have that pricing put in there, as well as 20 Bronco real recently. That's what that means. Don't tell me. Yes, yeah, that's correct, Adrian. So some of the we are seeing the hybrids being scheduled in other areas, just not as much for us. And I think really for the most part, my heart believe that, I don't know, I don't have any proven facts of this, but I think the Midwest just didn't get a lot of hybrids scheduled. Every region gets allocations based on their region. Our region got 57 allocations last month. We received 20 of the 57, which is a big chunk of our region, which is good. But our region just kind of did not get that many scheduled. So I really think they focused it in some of the bigger areas, and the bigger, California, Florida, and those places that have a lot of orders in those areas. And I think most of the hybrids were getting scheduled in those areas. That's my belief. So hopefully, I'm not sure if I'm right on that, or get someone to get made. Yep. Sometimes communication, I get that is difficult, but it's difficult for them to know who, because like just with us here, we might pay attention to the bulletins and such a little bit more than other dealers, such. So I know they're trying to get that word out as best they can. Even Maverick shipped a week ago Saturday. No, usually it takes about 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, before they actually come in. Boost. Yes, they are building EcoBoost. Yes, and really the trim isn't that much of a difference. It's more of the engine right now that we see than any, and the motor that's in it. Actually been sold and delivered at dealership. Well, Harley, I think there's a bunch that have been delivered. We've sold 7 this month, Mavericks. Those were all ordered ones. So what we had, I think actually the one that came in that wasn't that we sold that we had a blue one that was sold right away, but the rest of those were ordered units. But we've sold 7 so far. We'd have some more coming in real soon because we had like 16 orders total. I think we've had 7 that have arrived, so we still have quite a few that should be arriving any. Okay, ordered hybrid Lariat 919 and received an email 9:30 that my order is scheduled for. Is it still scheduled for 11:22? My assumption, you'd have to check the tracking. If you have the order in with us and you give me the order number, which is a 4-digit number, I could look it up for you. But usually what happens is you can go into if you got an email when it was scheduled for production, go back to that email. There should be a little button there that says track your order. Click on that. If anything's changed, it'll actually show you those dates there. Getting on my Bronco Sport build date is 11/22. Any thoughts on delivery date? Rough ballpark. Usually about 4 weeks from that build date. So if it's usually if you get a week of build date. So you'll have the first the first email you receive will say yours is scheduled to be built this week. Like mine was scheduled to be built the week of 11/4, or I mean 10/4. So that was sometime that week. And then the Friday before, I got another email that said yours is scheduled to be built on the 6th. So once you get the date it's actually scheduled, you can figure about 4 weeks from that day is a good guesstimation. So like mine was built on the 6th. So, and they gave me a time frame of the 27th to 2nd, which is actually a little sooner than I expected. So that's usually how that will work. So wait till you get that the day of. So like the week of let's see, that's November 22nd. So week of the 22nd. So probably somewhere around the 19th, 20th, you'll get an email that tells you what day yours is scheduled to be built on, and go from there. And then you also get another email once it's built and it's being shipped out. You get another one that says your vehicle is scheduled to be shipped out. This is your expected date. So that's another ballpark range. So does that mean we'll be selling the Lightning above MSRP? We are doing MSRP on all of our ordered Lightnings. And at the start of it, kind of like the Bronco, we won't be able to get any stock allocations. We don't know yet. Hopefully we know here soon whether or not we're going to get any stock allocations, but probably going to be like the Mach-E, where on the Mach-E we have yet to receive a stock Mach-E. Those are just like they're doing with Teslas. They're doing it per build. So Lightning right now, with those that we know of, it's going to be the same way. So we're doing MSRP in all of our custom Lightning builds. So there will be, of course, those we're not marking up. We're doing MSRP, just like we do with any of our ordered units. If we do a special order for you, it's always going to be MSRP with McArthur. That's just the way we do things. Anything that's a stock build, we have like 98 vehicles on our lot right now. Some of those are at MSRP, some are a little bit above. Just depends on what the market is. So whereas right now the truck market is really hot. And it's in demand, so the prices on those are over MSRP. Super Duty is $5,000 over MSRP right now, just because that's what the market dictates. Whereas some of our F-150s actually repricing some of them today. Actually, I have my pricing list here, so just look. Some of our F-150s we're repricing to. I think like this one in particular is getting priced to sticker. So we're at MSRP on some of our F-150s. Some of the F-150s, like the more expensive one, Lariats and such, which are harder to find and harder to get, they're priced a couple grand over. Just depends on again, supply and demand and what the market dictates. We change our prices based on the market. So if we see that, at the auctions, we see what they're going for, new vehicles or even low mileage used ones and what they're going for, and we kind of we dictate and change our prices based on that. So So that's how it's done. I mean, some of our Explorers, we're at MSRP on those after rebate. Not much rebate on those anyway. And then of course we have mainly F-150s, our Mustangs. Of course, all of we do have one GT Mustang, and we're 1,000 over MSRP on it. So it really depends on the model, such and how that works. So, all right, will there be Daniel? I think I kind of mentioned that. I need to look that up on the Bronco. So I really don't know. It may not be on the building price. Probably if it's not on the building price, to be honest, it's probably not going to be available because on the Maverick, lease is showing up on the building price. So it's probably not going to be available to lease a Bronco. So, and really, I don't know. I think that's mainly because a lot of people are going to put accessories on it, and it's hard to residualize those accessories, and that's probably why leases aren't going to be available. So, can an order be transferred to another dealership, or do you have to cancel and start over? Yeah, Kyle, you have to cancel and start over. Once you submit an order with a dealership, the dealership owns that order, so they don't have to cancel it, they don't have to change it, they don't have to switch it to another dealership. They own that order. So but like on Lightning, you have a Lightning reservation in, the reservation can be switched to a dealership. So and keep and look at that too, and you might want to figure out now before the order guides open up. Because if you have a F-150 Lightning reservation, if you want to switch, you need to find out what the dealerships are going to do, figure that out. If they haven't told you what they're going to do or they don't know yet, that's probably something you need to be aware of, that more than likely then they're going to price that vehicle up over MSRP if they don't know yet. A lot of dealerships that are doing a decent on pricing, they're going to tell you right now, yep, we're going to be doing MSRP. That's just the way it is. So so now is the time to switch your reservation, because I did see, look, in Bronco, we did see a lot of dealers that took their reservations and they flipped them over to orders real quick. So they had those orders submitted because they thought that first day they needed to. So they were flipping a bunch of people's orders over and ported them not the way they wanted to, which orders can be updated any time, including trim and motor and everything else. But it's a good idea to, that's just something that some dealerships we found did that on Bronco. They got in trouble for that. A lot of people were calling saying, no, I wanted to switch my reservation. That's why I hadn't submitted my order yet. I was planning on switching my reservation to another dealership. So they kind of got in trouble for that. So figure out where you're wanting your dealership and your reservation now, what they're going to be pricing it, so you can go ahead and transfer that reservation by calling Ford's 800 number and get it done that way. So. All right, so Carl said, my Maverick is scheduled the week of November 15th. Can I make a change? Once that order has been scheduled for a build date, you cannot change anything on it because they took that order based on that configuration. And so they do not want people changing the order after it's been scheduled. So the factory, sometimes you can get the only way it could be done is a dealership they have to call their Ford rep, and the Ford rep then has to call the plant and get the plant to change something. I've seen people where the dealership put the wrong color in, and they had the wrong color in on the order, and they didn't notice it when they scheduled it, and then before it got, and when it was submitted, and then it got scheduled with the wrong color, submitted to the plant. A color can be changed a little bit easier, but that really the plant, they do not like making those changes because that was based on that configuration. So then if you throw on a hard cover, well, that just throws everything off because they don't have that many of those. So that's why they don't allow for those changes. So okay, so let's see. Will there ever be a point when Ford will build the oldest orders first for allocations? I ordered in June and no build date. Probably not. They did that with Bronco as well. We have somebody that was third on the list on Bronco and still has not been scheduled at our dealership because of the configuration and what they have on theirs, because they have the hard top, wild track, which and then they had a bunch of things on theirs that was something that they didn't have commodities on, and so it wasn't based on how many allocations we had allocations for them, just Ford did not want to pull that order based on what it was. So be very look at your order and what's on there. That has a lot of bearing on what's been pulled as well as dealer allocations. So I'd love for them to go in line, but Ford won't always do that. We have a general manager at dealership that orders Every time there's a special order, he orders them. He knows how to build them and be one of the first ones. And at the dealership, his was we received like a couple of those stock orders, but then of the customer orders, his came in with the first load. And on Bronco, his came in first. So he knows what not to put on there and to listen to Ford. When Ford says there's a constraint and there's a commodity for a certain thing, he changes his order so it can get here. And he's not as particular on some of those different packages, and we keep, we trade those in often enough that it's not as big a deal to some of us that order those. But if you're planning on keeping it for a long time, be okay with waiting, especially if you want certain things on there. So, Ford dealer, watch our YouTube video to keep up to date on Maverick updates and questions. Go to watch your video. Oh, cool. Yeah, and I really hope. I mean, I've had salespeople watch a lot of my walk around videos for years, and it's helped them out. I think that's great. So it's out there for everyone, not just for customers. But hopefully, salespeople don't take my videos and think that I'm pointing. I'm just trying to help everybody, whether it be a customer or a salesperson, to help process things. So hopefully, they take it that. If ordered a 22 Bronco base 4-door with hardtop now, the chances to get it by spring 22. Yeah, I would think so. The things that they're easy for Ford to make right now is, of course, hardtop or with the hardtop. Oh wait, I didn't see that part. 4-door with the cloth top is going to be easier for you to get than a hardtop. We'll say that. Although they're catching up with the hardtop production. I would say if you went soft top, I would say yes, definitely. You probably can get scheduled and actually bump down some other people. I have someone that's on our list that has been scheduled, for quite a while, and they're wanting, they're wanting that hard top, and that's holding theirs off. So any soft tops are going to get pulled above theirs, just like mine did. So mine was a great example that I've used in many weeks as an example. That where I took my hardtop off mine, went to soft top, and I got moved way up above about 100 people on our list and got scheduled. So just really depends on some of that stuff. Some of it you can get later, take them off. So are you willing to share how many Lightning reservations you have so far? The last count I saw was 70, and I know we've gotten probably at least 5 to 10 since then. So we probably have about 80 Lightning reservations. So, and we like to keep it, it's a manageable thing for us. Having too many makes it difficult, not only just to process all the orders, but also because of the allocation. So, that's another thing to keep in mind. And we love getting the orders and everything. And there are a lot of people that have orders in with us because they just feel confident and that they're going to get the vehicle ordered the way they want it to from a dealer that knows the product really well. So. Okay, so Daniel said, I'm going to read this. How do you think the low allocation number for Mavericks anything to do with Mike Levine about special? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Maybe you can, if you could find his tweet or something and you could share it with us, Daniel, so we can have some context there. I'm not sure what he's talking about there. Maverick Larry hybrid on 919 30. If I've went ahead and read yours, don't kind of already answered it. Hopefully, then eat it so we can kind of move on to questions. What these constraints are for the Lightning? We don't know yet. Right now, there shouldn't be any constraints, right? Because we don't have any production yet, so there shouldn't be any constraints yet. But just like with the Maverick, I would leave your hardtops off. I would leave the spray and liners off if they're not coming with it. Hopefully, they learn from Maverick. And spray and liner won't be included in a package. I really hope. That's really what's delaying some people's luxury package vehicles. So, but keep those accessories. Like I said in some of the other videos, leave the accessories off. If it's something you can get from your dealer later down the road, F-150, we already have accessories for those. That's the great thing about a Lightning is those have all the same accessories, bed covers and everything else as you can get on any F-150. They're already available. So don't order your vehicles with any accessories. Sometimes even dealer installed options you can get from Ford Accessories as well and have the dealership install them for you after you get your truck. sometimes those delay it. So just stay away from accessories, in my opinion, and you should be good. Texas, can I still order a hybrid? Would be able to get help, and would it be MSRP? Yes, you can order, order a vehicle now. We are taking hybrid orders. I know some dealerships are telling customers we can't order hybrids, and that's not true. You can order hybrids. I can go into the system right now and I can order a hybrid. How soon it gets scheduled, that's another story. I can't dictate when it can get scheduled, but I can order one for a 22 build right now. I order different tires for my Maverick through McArthur and have them installed before pickup. Yes, we can do that. So if you want to do that, best way to do that probably, Peter, is to get with Blake in aftermarket. Actually, there's several guys. Niles can do it as well as Sean can. They can those three guys. Any of those three can help you out. Get that and get the tires. They know what tires are available. So people have asked me before, and that's kind of their department. The reason the reason I'm real knowledgeable with what I do is because I focus in on just my stuff and let aftermarket do what they do best. So I would contact our aftermarket department. Just call the dealership here and just ask for aftermarket. Blake, Sean, Niles, any of those guys can help you out and get those tires that you want. Southern West are starving on sales. Not their fault. Are vehicles sell that nobody. Yeah. So I know that there are a lot of dealerships that don't have a lot of inventory, and if you're a dealership out there and you're struggling with inventory, try to do what we did. We listened to Ford back in June, May, June, in July, when they told dealers. Ford told in different bulletins, our Ford reps and everything. They told dealers how to get inventory. They basically said, we're going to just concentrate on customer vehicles. But if you order a vehicle for a customer, we're going to give you stock allocations down the road. And so that's what's happening. So we did that. So we started ordering vehicles for customers, and we're not ordering it for fake customers. They have to have a driver's license. They have to have everything signed out, just like on the Maverick. And so that's what we did. So we had customers that wanted a Super Duty and didn't want to pay $5,000 over on one of ours. We said, let's order you one at MSRP. How do you want it ordered? And we ordered it. Well, when you order a Super Duty, then Ford says, now you have earned a stock allocation. So guess what? Now we're starting to get stock vehicles. So that's why we have 100 vehicles on our lot right now. 50 of them are aftermarket, but we still have 50 others that are stock vehicles because we were ordering it the way Ford said to, and they bonused us. They gave us more allocations for stock units because of that. And a lot of dealers didn't listen to that. So if you're a dealer out there, you're watching this video, hopefully that kind of helps you out. That's what you need to do. So find, with customers come in and maybe you don't have anything out there, instead of just turning them away, have them go somewhere else, tell them you can order them one and have it come in. Not all of them take the time frame it does for Maverick. Maverick it's a new launch. It is going to take a little while to get all those orders up to date. F-150 has been revolving. So if you're looking at an F-150 and you got a customer wanting an F-150, it's not going to be a 3-month, 4-month, 5-month turnaround. It should be a little quicker than that. So get yours, do it that way. That's the best way to do it. And then you're also earning allocations for your dealership. So that's why we have 100 vehicles on our lot when other dealers have, less than a dozen. We have a dealership right next to us. You're watching this, you probably know it's Marshall Motors. It's a Dodge dealer, Dodge Jeep dealership. They have about a dozen vehicles on their lot. There's another dealership down that has one new vehicle on their lot, and it's because they don't know how to order the vehicles. We were ordering a long time ago when COVID was going on. A lot of dealerships were scared to order vehicles because they were scared that the sales were going to go down. They're going to have all these vehicles here. We just kept ordering like it was like nothing was different. That's the way we've always done we never got caught up in all the negativity. We never got caught up in all the people worrying about this and worrying about what prices is going to happen to prices. We just kept doing business as usual, and that's what happened. So hopefully that's a positive thing to tell dealers out there to just do that's hopefully a lesson you can learn from that. Thanks for all the assistance with info. I've ordered a hybrid first editions. To assume at least get it before. Yes, you will. So, yep. So those are only available. That pack's only available for this year. Just like with the Bronco, they stopped production on a lot of other vehicles because they had to get the first editions out for 21. Those could not go over to 22. So I would assume the same thing too. You have your order in for a first edition hybrid, then you should get scheduled pretty soon. All year, or it leaves the factory, or let the dealer do it who has never done it for that vehicle. It's John, you have a good point, but I will recommend this. There, a lot of we've been doing a lot of this for a long time. A lot of these vehicles, and there's pretty similar on a lot of them. Here's something that I wish I had some images, but some of you, I don't know if you notice, if you've looked at any of the Mavericks with the luxury packages that come with the spray and bed liner from the factory, you know, it looks really cool. You have the Ford emblem on the back of that, the bed and everything, and that looks cool and everything. But have you noticed one thing the factory doesn't do? They don't spray in the whole thing. They don't spray in the whole bed. Like for us, that's one thing that we did. Well, our very first vehicle that we had that we did a spray and liner, we went all the way up to the glass. So you can't see any of the painted bed at the top even. And even on the sides, if you open one up with a luxury package, you can see the body on the sides. Well, even in the back, when you have that tailgate down, you're throwing stuff in there. Isn't it not going to hit the sides there where they did not coat that in? So what they do is they basically have it shut, the tailgate shut, I believe, and I think they tape around the top bed rail. They tape off the top and they just spray it. Well, in my opinion, they don't do as good a job that way, and that's why a lot of times in my videos in the past on F-150, I've always made a big deal that here at Law McArthur, when we do a spray and liner, we take all of the screws and bolts and everything off, and we spray it, and then we put all those hooks back on. And the reason is you have a tighter seal around that. So do you want them to just spray with the hooks and everything around that and not coat underneath it? Because then you're not going to have as good of protection in there from the weather as you would if you take and you spray it really well. So that's a situation where doing that afterwards, you know, can be done. And putting bed covers on, they're all about the same on all trucks. I mean, you know, Ford dealers have been having F-150s in trucks for years. They know how to put bed covers on trucks. It shouldn't have an issue whatsoever. So I mean, at least at our dealership, I feel confident that if I get a truck, I'm not going to worry about a spray and liner or a bed cover or anything else like that. I know that my dealership can put it on, and I'm confident in the ability that our service department has and our aftermarket team has to do it the correct way. So if you're a little apprehensive of that, maybe then you wouldn't want to go ahead and get it from the factory if you're not confident at your dealership. So that's probably the best way to probably look at that. Hey Tim, is Law McArthur going to offer an LX4 Maverick? Super excited. Yes, Robert, you need to be looking. I mentioned it earlier, and maybe you weren't on there, but we are in the process. Tomorrow, we're going to start configuring and lifting our first Maverick. Our GM has a white FX4 Maverick, and he is going to have them test it out and try out and see what suspension works best, what different offset on wheels and such that looks best on it. And so we will be having one real soon. So be staying posted there. I might even throw in some pictures online or on our in our community tab there. So be looking for that as well. We are going to be doing one real soon, and we'll be getting prices on that too. So. Question: Lightning Pro trim has the SR BEV. Will Class C options available? Are not sure. Oh, so the Pro Edition, we probably think it probably comes with vinyl, and I can't wait for the order guides to come out so that I can get the specifics on this, because I'm even curious on the XLT. But I would assume that the Pro can get the cloth seats. I would be pretty confident. I know the XL trim now comes really standard actually with the cloth seats now on an XL F-150, so I'd assume that that's going to be available on the Pro version as well. Okay, Steven said, will my XL Maverick come with carpeted floor mats? Front floor mats, yes. Unless you elected to go with floor liners without the floor mats, just it really depends. But they will come. All Mavericks will come standard with front floor mats, carpeted mats. They're included. Yeah, there's not usually room on the window sticker for every option. I mean, there's like 2 to 3. There's like 2 pages of information that's about lines. There's like 2 pages like this of standard equipment on a Maverick, and so they can't fit it all on the window stickers. So sometimes they might leave out a couple things. Okay. I could just brand bedliner. Actually, Mark, you have a good point. I actually talked to the brand. I've emailed the brand manager because they are struggling with getting the luxury packages. They're trying to come up with a suggestion or an idea, and they have plans of doing something so that they can schedule more of those luxury packages. And I had mentioned to him in my email that there are a lot of people that are getting a luxury package not because of the spray and liner. Like, I ordered mine with the luxury package, and I didn't order it with the luxury package because of the spray and liner. I ordered a luxury package because I wanted the body colored mirrors, I wanted the dual zone climate, I wanted the heated seats, the heated steering wheel, I wanted all those other convenience features. The spray and liner wasn't a big deal to me. The outlets in the back, the bed lighting, I mean, that stuff was the stuff I wanted. Spray and liner I could do later. So I actually encouraged them that, to maybe think about that on the luxury package. So maybe, they can maybe make that luxury package not have a spray and liner. Hopefully they learn like they did with the Bronco Sport with the moonroof. So 21, if you didn't know this, Bronco Sport had a big, if you got a big bin, then it came with, you can get a big bin package, which included a moonroof, or you could get the Outer Banks with the Outer Banks package, and that Outer Banks package included a moonroof. And so then what they figured out halfway through was they didn't have enough moonroofs. Just like right now, they're not having enough spray and liner material. So they learned from that. So if you look at a 22 Bronco Sport build now, they've taken that moonroof out of that package and made it a standalone option, but requires that package to get it. So I think they should do the same thing with the spray and liner. If they're having commodity issues, I think they should like cut off a certain point and say, okay, now this is job order 2 is not going to include the spray and liner. So I don't know if some of you know this, but sometimes on a model year, they may have a job 1 and then they have a job 2. So they come up with something, they find something, maybe there's constraints out there, and so then they realize that, and then they just kind of stop production for job 1, and then on job 2 they'll make that change to the order guide and say, okay, now this package doesn't include this for job 2. And that's what I think they should do. I think at this point, if they're having issues with that, but they could build all these other vehicles, because right now if you schedule an EcoBoost without any kind of luxury package, you're probably going to get scheduled and get that next week. I mean, it's that quick. And so because of that commodity issue, so let's just go ahead and let's stop it. Let's go. Job order 2 does include the spray and liner, and let's get these things built. So that's my opinion. So hopefully they can, that's some feedback they can take back to their team, and maybe that helps them out. So anybody else has any things like that I can pass on to the Maverick team, to the brand manager, let me know. So just go ahead and email those over to me. So back seat does not. Okay. Let's see, throttle shots. A Ford, can't wait to see the lift. Can't wait either. So this is tomorrow, I think, is when they're going to start working on it. So we'll be able to get some ideas. We're going to try all kinds of different things. We'll see what works. Since we did do a level kit on the Bronco Sport, we're not just going to level it. We're going to actually lift the Maverick. So we're not just going to put a level kit and bring the front up. A little bit different than what we did on the Bronco Sport. So it's going to take us a little more time to see what suspension works best on it. So we're going to try different ones out, and we'll give you all the details. So I'm planning on doing a video. I did the intro for it tonight. It's just kind of a before and type thing, but when I do the rest of the video, we'll actually go through. We're going to lift it up on there. We're going to put it on a lift and everything, and show you some of the images of what we actually put on the truck. So if you want to get that done at your local dealer or upfit shop, and if you go to a big city, most big cities have a 4-wheel drive. Maybe some of them, they haven't had a Maverick to test like this, so we can give you that information, so you can go in and say, here's the lift that I want. You can even order the lift. We're going to show you where you can order that if you want to do it locally, and all that kind of stuff. So then that way you can do that yourself. So, well, Kyle, thanks for becoming a member. So welcome. Okay, so let's see here. Will my XL Maverick come with carpet? I think I answered that. To get Ford luxury with. Not anything I can do, I don't think. I think they'll be I think they'll figure that out here real soon. So on your all right, spare tire on the Maverick is full size or different size. So is the full size spare tire on the Maverick full size or different size? So the standard spare tire on all Mavericks will be a mini spare. So it'll be, you know, a little smaller spare and everything. So if you want the full size spare, you have to add it as a standalone option. Or some of the packages on the hybrids will come with it. So if you get the Copilot 360 and you have a hybrid, it'll come with the full size spare. Otherwise, you have to order it as a standalone option. Don't forget to do that if you want the full size spare. Yep, no problem. Eddie will, actually, we submitted your order today. We actually got, the order system was down yesterday in the afternoon. We weren't able to do that. So today, we got yours submitted. So he's going to be, Mitch should be sending you a copy of that order. But yes, I can give you a call tomorrow. Please contact Snug Top and have them get their toppers canopies. Oh, okay, that's what you're talking about for a canopy. I'm old, so I call them toppers. Some people call them bed caps, canopies. So yeah, so a canopy, a bed cover, or bed tops. Oh, those you can get through through Ford Accessories. And we don't have a lot of customers that get those toppers, canopies, that kind of thing. So we didn't order any ahead of time, but we can order one for vehicles. So if you're wanting one of those, we can order them. And what's really cool is that Ford actually has them already painted to the color of the exterior, so that we don't have to get them in and then repaint them in our body shop. So that's going to be awesome. So then we just can get them and then put them on. So it shouldn't be a problem at all. So I'm winning money at Vegas. I'll say yes and no. So I won money the first night, you know, and then I took that money the second night and I lost it all. So yeah, I won it and then I lost it because I got greedy. So yep. So anyway, okay. But I'm not a big gambler, so I like if I lose $100, I'm like, oh no, I feel bad. So I don't do a lot, but I have just enough to have some fun though. Okay, what else? Oh, welcome. Okay. What is inside those cubbies on the XL Maverick? Is it false bottom? Yeah, it's just an opening. I actually haven't opened one up to look inside. When they did a spray and liner on one of our customer vehicles, I was like, oh, you should have got a picture of what that looks like when you took that cover off. But yeah, because you're supposed to be able to take the cover on the XLs, or even if you have an XLT that gets one cubby on this side and not on the left side, if you don't have the luxury package, you should be able to take that cover off, and you should be able to order through parts one of those cubbies, and you could actually put another one on the other side. So that should, I mean, from what we understand, those are just screws that come out, and then you can get another cover for the other side if you want. So they should be false bottoms. In fact, our trainer that was in said that there's a lot of companies already thinking about putting like compressors and stuff in there and being able to have those, and then have it, you know, somehow connected inside that, in the bed in there, in that area, and then just have the hose and everything come out for like different things. So I don't know, but okay. Josh asked a question. All right. Looks like Josh Davis asked a question, and I missed it. That it was a good question, so I have that question. Oh, there it is. There. Oh, about the one in Vegas. Okay, yeah, I didn't. Full size spare the same size as a 4 mounted on the wheels. Yes, the full size spare will be the same size. It'll probably be a steel wheel, but it'll be the same size as all the other wheels. Correct. How would you use Ford Pass points for accessories? You just contact your Ford dealer, just like when you go in for service. If you want accessories, then you can go ahead and tell like the whatever department, service department or aftermarket, that you want to order them. When they come in, like for us, we don't pay for them until they come in, and then at that point, hey, we want to use the Ford Pass points for that. Then they just they know how to take credit on that and see what your Ford Pass points are. So I know I've racked a bunch up because I do use my Ford Pass credit card a lot. I use it like a bank card throughout the month and pay it off at the end of the month. And so I rack up a bunch of those. So I plan on using those for some different things. So, oh, something I'm going to share today and I forgot. And I don't have images of that. Might be fun. Okay, bear with me. We have a something cool on the Bronco. So if you have a Ford Bronco build and you want to do something special to your Bronco, we do have something special that we have to do a little bit of Photoshop editing here for us here. But if those that are on, okay, let me do some Photoshop if you guys are okay with this. Something for a Bronco. Maybe you guys don't care, but just let me know. Something special. There is a package that we're available on a Bronco, and I'm getting it from my Bronco that's available, and I was going to share it with you guys in this live stream. I forgot to do it at the beginning. I'm going to be doing a separate video on it anyway. That's okay for those that aren't in there. We have a couple hundred in the live stream. Here we go. Photoshop's loading a little slow here, but we're gonna let me Photoshop a couple images. But there's a package you can get on the Bronco by Roush, and I didn't know if you knew this, but some people know about this. But Roush has a package that is available to Roush dealers. So we are a Roush dealer. That means we have technicians and our service department that can add Roush superchargers and different parts of Roush vehicles onto to stock vehicles within our system. And so Roush has a Bronco package that is available where it's basically everything sent in a crate to the Roush dealer, and the Roush dealer installs it onto the Bronco. And I have one on order. They're only making 50 of these packages this year. And McArthur's getting 20. We said we want 20 of them. So we already can. We have some dealers that are upset that we got so many, I think, are upset that they were sold out. But we put our name on 50 of these Roush kits. We are one of the top Roush dealerships, by the way, in the country. So we said, yes, we'll take 20 of those 50. So we got 20 of these kits coming for this. Guys. I'm not going to get I'll do a few, but then I'll go through what's included in there. But my big thing is I wanted to do something special on my Bronco. I wanted to do some different wheels, bigger tires. I wanted to kind of lift it up a little bit. I knew that it was pretty well leveled out, but I wanted to, if I got some bigger tires on it, it would bring it up. I wanted to do something special with it. And I've been waiting for Roush to come up with news, and I come back from Vegas. They brought it out and shared it with the dealership, so I found out on Friday. That'll be enough. Throw this into my software here real quick. Image. Sorry, I forgot about this. You guys forgive me, right? There we go. Oh. Okay. So there's what it looks like right there. That's actually fully blown. There's a Roush Bronco right there. So you get the kit from Roush and so the dealer installs everything. You got a stripe on the side. You got a 17-inch wheel. Roush is not actually including the tires with it. We went ahead and contacted, and we're getting. They said right now their price wasn't including the tires. We went ahead and got the General Grabber ATX tires that they plan on putting on them. They said that that General Grabber didn't have enough that they could include them in their kits, but we went ahead and contacted them already. We're getting 20 sets of these that are coming in, including the one for the back. So we're gonna have the tires. You can see on the front of that, you can see a bug shield kind of on the front. There's also Roush graphics above the windshield up there. They got their USA flag, and actually I'm gonna have them put that USA flag on the back fender on mine. And there's also a Roush badge that's serialized to 1 to 50 on the front fender, and I'm going to have them actually put it probably right below my Big Bend graphics on the side. And then on the inside, they're going to also, and on mine I'm going to order the rock rails from the accessories. And then on the inside, here, let me make this smaller. Oop, there I am. So I'm sure there's a better way of doing this, but I am. Okay, so then you can see there's the graphics on the hood up there on the right. So you see the hood graphics goes right into that, where that up there. You can see on the there to the left, you can see Roush dash. Not sure if I'm going to add that to my Bronco there. You also see you get exhaust on. You get Roush exhaust, which I do like. I have Roush exhaust in my truck. Love the sound of it there. It is going to be powder coated as well, so which I like. I wish I had that on mine. So you can see that. And then see there on the right is the Roush cold air intake. So that should give you some better performance to the 2.3 liter or the 2.7 liter as well. So that is a really cool package there. We do Roush service technicians, so they're going to put that in without any issues. So the exhaust, the intake, everything, wheels, tires, serialized badging, so you'll have a go inside with the VIN sticker and everything, or they'll be serialized to 1 of 50. So they're only doing 50 of these, and so I'm gonna get. I already put my name on one of them. We're like I said, we're getting 20 of these. I think 6 of them already been given out to, or not given out, but people put their names on it. So even if you want one of those, price wise on those, they're $12,900, so $12,990, I believe is the price on those. Anyway, there you go. So yeah, so if you're on the podcast and listen to that, I am showing them images of this Roush package. Have to check it out. I'll be doing a separate video of that. So if you're checking that out, thanks for somebody reminded me of, like, the podcast's not going to understand what I'm talking about, but you're right. So I am showing that to everybody. YouTube. So if you are watching and listening to the podcast, I'm just going to tell you, it looks pretty. Can't wait. December 1, I believe, is when these kits are going to be available at the dealerships. They're supposed to be shipping out and hitting dealerships around December 1. So I'll have to drive around just a little while before before it gets put on my Bronco. I'll have to deal with that. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. So I think that's anyway. So I want to share that with you. I meant to do that. I am going to do a separate video on that probably here pretty soon. I need to add that to my list of videos I need to do. But that's pretty cool. So I've been waiting. Roush have been working with Ford with that for a while, and been waiting for images and everything when those are going to come out, and more information about that package. But that's pretty cool. So also, it looks like too, if you're just interested in like the cold air intake or the exhaust, those two are going to be available separately. I think the cold air intake is going to be like I don't remember how much. I think like $1,000 or something before install. So then you still got to pay for shipping and install. And I think the exhaust is about $500 plus, again, shipping and install by a dealer to do that as well. So, okay. So Jonathan, will an EcoBoost Maverick be able to be towed? Oh, behind it. Oh, motorhome or fifth wheel. The hybrids can be towed, flat towed. I think that's what you're looking for. So it looks like you probably used voice to text there. So yeah, you can flat tow a Maverick, hybrid Maverick. So they all yours. Crossbars. Okay, yeah, we need to add some things to yours. Okay, Henry. Yeah, or I mean Eddie. We'll make sure that I'll get connected with you tomorrow. So we'll make sure we get those changes. So add the oh yeah, window 10 is actually wouldn't show up on your order. That's something we'll do when it gets here. So that's something that your order sheet would show that. And then also crossbars. Oh, engine block heater. I didn't put that on there. Oh, sorry about that. I thought I put the engine block heater on there. So I'll make sure I have the engine block heater and What else? The crossbars on the back. That's an aftermarket. I encourage you, Eddie, to get that afterwards. The crossbar. So we'll ask. There's actually 2 different versions you can get now. So we'll see. I'll give you a call and we'll talk about that tomorrow. So cool. And when I receive the VIN number, and when I check it, I can't track my order. It just says that I'll be scheduled and receive a VIN number after. But I already have a VIN number. What do I do? If you have a VIN number, that usually means it's being scheduled. Not sure on that. Maybe if it's a hybrid, maybe that would be why. So maybe they are holding off on hybrids. I'm not sure. So not confident on that. So I have price everything out with that Roush kit. Cool. Yeah. Steven, I think that's a good call, because that'll get your Bronco pretty quick, and then you can add it just kind of like I am there too. So so I'll get a hold of. So yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Any other questions for me? You know, if the Lightning has any special packages or cloth seats for the Pro. I'm not sure yet. I'm really looking forward to getting more information on the F-150 Lightning. We can get packages. I've found some information out there, but I haven't found it on Ford's website yet, or anywhere from that Ford's given us about different packages. I heard there's going to be like an XLT Premium and a Lariat Premium, but I didn't get that information from Ford, so I'm really waiting for the order guides to come out so I can deep dive into what's available. There'll be a lot of different options, even on the Pro version. You should have some different options for cloth seats and that kind of thing. So there's just a few overview things that they've shared with us that they know is going to be stared on some of them. And even a month ago, I think it was August, that I went out for a ride and drive on the F-150 Lightning. And even at that time, they weren't sure on the packages yet at that point. So they've just recently have. So Don said, "Hey Tim, please update Ford F-150 Lightning. Can you confirm October 26th date for ordering?" That's what we have so far. Did mention that earlier, that that's the date they're giving us. That order guides and order banks will be opening up. And that's probably when build and price will be available on their website as well. You will have some time to get it in. Don't feel like you have to rush and order on that date. You're going to have some time before the deadline is for all orders, taking that reservation number and position and reference to that for your order. But you will have a little bit of time, but I think that the order banks will open up on the 26th. That's what I believe. Will a front-wheel drive Maverick be able to be towed on a dolly behind a motorhome? It should be able to. We check that out. It's actually on our website. If some of you didn't know this, at McArthur.com, we do have a page for the Maverick. Has some information under the new tab. Actually, let me give you the website. So it's lawmacArthur.com/2022-Ford-Maverick.html. Or you can just go to our website, and under the new tab, there's a F-150, or there's a Ford Maverick. They'll ask them to take that reserve off there, but they have it. On that page, if you scroll down a little bit, there's actually, I have, of course, some of our videos are on there, but I have 4 little buttons there. One of them is about the flex bed, one's about size comparison to the other vehicles, and one of them is on the RV and towing. If you click on that, there's more information about the towing as well as flat towing. Scroll down, so it says 4-wheel down towing, hybrid yes, EcoBoost no, and then dolly, I think dolly towing. I think they both can be dolly towed. See, I'm not seeing it. Doesn't, I'm not there, but I think that they all of them can be pulled behind a dolly. So I'm not sure exactly they all can. Not on their guide. So they do have an RV and towing guide that I got from Ford, and it's actually on our website just because of the reference that whenever So that should. All right. Well, it's an EcoBoost Maverick scheduled for November 1st. Now I can't check my status. Good question. I'm not sure. Can you go back to your original email and click on that track and see if it's tracking? I'm not sure. It may just be, a glitch for today or this week. But you probably just keep checking back on it. I would assume it hasn't been moved or anything. Okay, will the X plan be available for the F-150 Lightning? I'm not sure, because the Lightning has the invoice and MSRP is the same price, and usually X plan is based off of the invoice price and the D plan price. So I'm not sure. Just like on the Mach-E, it had the same pricing. Mach-E did not have X plan available. So I'm not sure if they're going to have X-Plan available for the Lightning as well. So a lot of people out there have X-Plan pricing, and I don't think they realize X-Plan actually is right. Almost the price for X-Plan is real close to invoice. And sometimes, but the benefit of that is you don't have to go into the dealership and fight for an invoice price. You just get, because you have that number, you're getting that X-Plan as long as the dealer honors that. I want to get the one. Understandable, James. Not a problem at all. So I get that. I still, by the way, for those of you that are still waiting to get yours scheduled, so am I. So my Maverick has not been scheduled yet either. So I'm in the same boat as a lot of you guys. I went ahead and put my order in. I originally wasn't going to get one, and I put my order in the middle of July. I still have not been scheduled, so I'm right in the same boat as you guys, and I've even ordered it with the things that I know that should schedule it faster. Mine's hybrid XLT luxury package. Again, I want that package. I'm okay with waiting a little bit. In fact, I probably would switch over to an EcoBoost before I take off the luxury package on mine. And then I also have the Copilot 360 features, because I love Bliss. I think Bliss should be standard equipment on every vehicle, in my opinion, as well as the lane keeping system. I think both of those two systems are just safety precautions that should be on every Ford vehicle. Ford, if you're watching this, hopefully you make it standard on the XL. Should not have to get a Copilot 360 package. But I also believe on an XLT Expedition, you should have it also should be standard equipment on every XLT that you get adaptive cruise. Because that's one of the things that I noticed. If you watch any of my past videos, I actually have a 2018 Ford Expedition XLT with the 202A equipment group. That one has adaptive cruise control, has a lane keeping, it has all those features. And then in 19 and 20, they took that away from the XLT trim. And so I've been waiting to see if 22 is going to bring it back. So hopefully, I haven't had a chance to look through the order guide. They have updated that, and my lease is up this spring. I should be able to get a 22 Expedition XLT. Now I have to go to limited to get the adaptive cruise control. So with you guys out there that are wanting to go, I have to go to limited to get adaptive cruise. I understand. I get it. The Expedition is the family vehicle that we take out of town. That's the one that always drives on the highway. Our Maverick is more the in-town vehicle. It's not going to be one that we're going to put out on the highway. The Expedition is. I love the adaptive cruise control. I love those features. Hopefully it includes lane keeping this system for this year. Or the lane centering, I should say. So I'm looking forward to that. So you can tell, even I have passion for the product and what is included in my vehicles and what features that I like. And I just want to make sure that I get. So I'm with the rest of you. So I am not only do I work for a Ford dealer, but I love the Ford product. So I really like that. So original email confirmation, hyperlink problems and known issue per Ford marketing customer service. Well, yeah, okay, yeah, some of them were. So hopefully you can get that fixed. I can't. For that customer that mentioned it earlier, your dealership should be able to look that up as well. They should be able to look up your order number and tell you what's going on with that as well. I can look up any of our orders if I have an order number, and I can tell you when it's scheduled, the week it's scheduled for, and everything like that. So I mentioned some of my videos before that if you have an order with us, get with your salesperson and have them come ask me. It doesn't take me but 5 minutes to put it up for you. So Okay, Peter said my Maverick has been scheduled through Law McArthur, and I am thrilled. Lariat Luxury FX4 and tow packages. Had to remove the tonneau cover to get the build confirmation, but I can't add through Law McArthur. Peter, is yours scheduled? Wait, my Maverick has been scheduled through Law McArthur. So I assume you have a schedule. So hopefully, taking that off helped yours get scheduled. I do know that I had our salespeople reach out to people that had an EcoBoost because I just had a feeling that we were going to get a lot of EcoBoost scheduled out of those 20 this month. And so I made sure that our salespeople called their customers and let them know that that cover might hold them up, and some other people might get moved ahead of them if they leave that on there. So hopefully, some people did take theirs off, and they got scheduled. And so I know my daughter's got scheduled finally, so she has an EcoBoost with the 4K tow package, and hers did get scheduled this week for a December build. I think the first week of December. I just ordered my hybrid Maverick last week. I am probably in for a 6-month wait minimum. Wes, I don't know, because I think a lot of people that have their orders in right now that have EcoBoost are getting scheduled, and I think most of the EcoBoosts are probably getting taken care of and getting through. And so hopefully when they get hybrids boosted up, hopefully we won't have to wait a long time for those. So once they start scheduling, I mean, because like right now we're scheduling now for December builds, and if they get everything worked out, and let's say they get the okay to buy on hybrids, and they're able to get production up on the hybrid batteries and the motors and everything for the first of the year production, then hopefully it won't be 6 months. Hopefully they start kicking out a bunch of these. Orderings. Okay, so 3520, your order has been entered into the Ford ordering system. It will then be scheduled and placed in the first of it. Once scheduled, but yet you have it. I did. Oh wait, there's the rest of it. Then an estimated build date can be provided. Be sure to view the vehicle summary section and learn about the features on your vehicle. Okay. Well, I'm not sure. I haven't seen that before, but again, your dealer should be able to look up your order number and tell you where it's at in line in this system. So even if it hasn't been scheduled, it'll tell you where it's at in that process. So whether it's been scheduled or if it has been scheduled with a build date, it'll be able to tell you that. So hopefully you can get information. I'd go to your dealership and see if they can look up the order and see if it's called the vehicle visibility. If they go into vehicle visibility and put in that order number, then they can locate and they can give you more detailed information. There's a part there where they can give you detailed information, and it should. Okay, we're at 8:47 now. So I appreciate everybody sticking on and asking questions. We even still have 150 people on here, so I appreciate everybody being on here. Anybody else have any last questions that they want me to answer for them before I take off here? So also, I did add a email address I created, so I'm going to go ahead and type it in here. So if you guys want to have any questions for these live streams and make sure that I get those questions answered, I want you to go ahead and email me at this email address. So fordvideoguy@gmail.com. Those of you who are watching the podcast. So send any questions. Please send those prior to like Tuesday at 2 or so. I usually am maybe even 4 o'clock, and I'll check those. But feel free to go ahead and send those questions to that email address, and I want that you really want to make sure they get answered in the live stream, and I'll make sure I include those in my notes there and make sure they get answered on the live stream. So go ahead and email those to the fordvideoguy@gmail. I kind of made that for the live stream podcast. That's the email address I'm using for that. So feel free to send those questions there so that I can make sure they get answered in the next live stream next week. And it has to, any product, it doesn't have to be just Maverick. I'm really glad we got some more Lightning questions, and next Tuesday I'm sure we're going to get a lot of questions on the F-150 Lightning, and hopefully people will know about these videos for the Lightning and for Bronco, whatever model. If you have questions, I'm kind of the product expert, so I dive into these order guides on every model. I will admit, Transit Connect are usually vehicles I don't do videos on. But about any other model, I do videos on those, and I get pretty thorough on those. So if you have questions on any of the models, throw those in, send those questions to the Ford Video Guy at gmail.com. Make sure I spelled it right. Yeah, Ford Video Guy at gmail.com, and I'll make sure those questions get included in the live stream. And again, any model, not really, it doesn't have to be Maverick. I know a lot of you are watching this because of the Maverick. But when F-150 Lightning information comes out, or 22 Bronco questions that you have, or anything, post those in there. I'm pretty knowledgeable about all of the trims, and I can get that information for you. And definitely, if it's something that I may have to look up, send those questions to me by next Tuesday, and I'll make sure they get included into the live stream. Again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit that red subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell. What that does is it notifies you the next time I have another video uploaded to the YouTube channel. So when a video goes live, it's going to get, when it's uploaded and it goes live, you're going to get a notification on your phone that it went live, and also that it goes live. And also any of my live streams, when they go live 30 minutes before the live stream, you'll get notified, as well as when we go live, and on the live stream you'll get notified too. So, and of course, if you're interested in membership, too, right beside the subscribe button is a join button. So click on the join. That doesn't, when you click on it, it doesn't make you join. It doesn't cost at that point. Click on that, it gives you more information, and then at that point, if you want to join, you can then hit the join. So again, thanks for staying on with me, and thanks for all the questions. I appreciate it, and I'm glad I can hopefully you guys got some information from this. And if you learned something tonight, go ahead and smash that like button. I'd appreciate it. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up in the chat as well, and let me know that you went ahead and that you learned something from today's video. I'm really glad that I could help you out. And again, thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate everybody joining me, and just letting you know that. One last question before I leave. Joe asked on the Lightning there, on the Pro version, if everybody can get the extended battery. And according to what Ford's told us, is only the fleet customers or commercial customers that order it as a fleet and get the extended battery. That for the normal customer that's buying that, they are limited to the standard battery. So again, last question. So again, thanks for watching this video. If you're watching, listen to the podcast, thanks for listening in. And until next week, we'll see you guys later.